Welcome to Back to the Brick. Today we've got something a little different. My fiance and I are going to Art of the Brick, which is a traveling Lego exhibition by Nathan Sawaya. I saw it 10 years ago in Cincinnati, and now I'm getting the chance to see it in Washington, D.C. in about a month. We bought our tickets last night, and when we did, we saw that there was a master builder competition for the event, and so I decided I'm going to enter it. The theme is to capture the city of Washington, D.C., and then there's a couple different award categories. I'm kind of interpreting that pretty loosely because I feel like everyone's going to do a monument or some part of the city. So my take on it is going to be building the SR71 Blackbird as it sits in the Smithsonian. So if you don't know, there's like a triangle of lights around it. It looks really cool. And so I'm going to try to build that and see what I can come up with. A couple different award categories. Like I said, one is for the most creative use of a brick, which I think is my best shot at winning. The other ones are the best job capturing the spirit of DC, best build by somebody under 18, which I obviously can't win, best group build, which I obviously can't win, and then I think there's one other one. But I got a couple sets that I'm going to pull some pieces from, a couple Speed Champion sets for sure. Definitely going to be taking some black pieces from the TIE Fighter. Definitely going to be taking some more sloped pieces from the Cat. As you can see, I already took his ears because that's going to be the front of the plane. And a couple from Mando's N1 Starfighter, which there's a video on the channel for, and then a couple from the ATTE as well, which is the last video on the channel. So a little bummed to take this one apart so soon because I literally just built it like 2 weeks ago, but is what it is. I think it'd be really cool to pull together a pretty good looking Blackbird. So if you've ever played Call of Duty, you know enemy SR71 above is time to switch to cold-blooded. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I don't know how much I'll film of this, just kind of given that, you know, it's going to be a mock and I'm going to have to pull pieces from other builds, but I'm definitely going to start with taking some pieces off of these builds that I think are going to be the most helpful. So once I do that, I'll let you kind of see where I'm at and then probably give you some updates as I go. So enjoy. So quick update, we've got the kind of backside mostly, I mean, not mostly done, but like the framework of it sort of set up. We got obviously both engines and then the wing uprights and then the flare tail wings. There's a little bit more of the bodywork that kind of protrudes out the back here that I need to figure out. The kind of basis for everything is actually the base plate of the Pagani Huayra Speed Champions. So that's kind of what everything is built up off of. And then as you can see, I've got a bunch of Speed Champion wheels as the engines and then the fronts. So making some progress, starting to round out the wings. As you can see, I got 2 rounded pieces on there and gonna try to maybe finish this part out for now. And then obviously I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the bottom because there's no studs on the bottom of this. So got to look at some reference photos, but all in all, I think it's actually coming together pretty nicely. The whole build has to fit within a 10-inch by 10-inch base plate. So that's kind of the scale that I'm going for here. So hopefully can kind of finesse that as we go. And here's a quick look at the very messy workspace. This might come as a surprise given that when I build a set, I know the whole thing out, but I'm kind of just, you know, going slow and methodical here, looking for the piece I need. So far, I've taken apart the McLaren Sabre Speed Champion and the Pagani Huayra Speed Champion, and then I started pulling some pieces from the Droid Deca stand, and then I'm probably going to use the gunship stand too for a couple extras. And then as you can see, I have this TIE Fighter wing off to start kind of pulling some pieces off of that too. So pretty good start though. I'm going to keep going. All right, so I'm going to stop here for the night. I have basically the backside like solidly built now. I might tweak 2 pieces just on the corners here. I might replace the studs with black like teeth pieces. You can see I have one of those in there. So I think it might just look a little cleaner if I have those to flesh out the wings a little bit since they kind of look a little weak right now. But all in all, I think it's actually coming together pretty nicely. The scale is a little off and I'm a little worried about the top being a little too high. So I'm not sure how I want to handle that. But the problem is I need to clear the wing mounts. So you can see right here where I have the red 2 connector that's connecting to the wings. I need to get the pieces over that. And so like I need to get the black over that. And so, you know, I kind of have to raise it as high as it is. So that's my only complaint so far. I think my plan is probably just to try to flatline the top And so, you know, it won't be like the true Blackbird where it has the swoop, but I think for a mock, pretty good. And, you know, if I manage to go flat through the top all the way down to the cockpit, that should be pretty solid. And hopefully to the general public that isn't as familiar with the SR71, they won't notice. So I think this is a good stopping point for night one. About 2 hours in at this point, just kind of plugging and chugging and what works. But I love the way the engines came out, and I think we're in good shape. So I'll keep you posted as I keep going. So made some changes. I was looking at some photos and I realized that the kind of uprights were a little too far forward, so I moved them back and then tiled off the top of it. So now there's no exposed studs except for where the wings mount. Pretty happy with it so far. The only kind of issue, or the only difference versus like a real SR71, is on the real SR71, these like wing uprights actually point inwards, not outwards, but then I would have to mount them on the outside if I was going to use the same piece. And so, you know, I think I'm going to keep it as is. And so far, so good. I think this is actually going to be pretty sweet when it's done. And the scale has proven to be pretty solid. I need to measure what like 9.5 inches is, because this has to fit within a 10-inch base plate. So I'm not entirely sure, you know, what that'll look like. I started building the cockpit too, and so I need to grab a ruler and see, you know, where we're at. But as you can see, I have the cockpit kind of fleshed out, and that looks pretty good. And then I have the cat ears as the front, which I think is a pretty creative thing. Got to expand this a little bit. And then I made it 6 wide because I didn't really think I had a better option, but I might have to change plans and make it 4 wide so that it flows better. But I'm gonna keep going as I get time here and making some modifications, trying to figure out how I wanna get the underside to look, and then obviously the landing gear's gotta go on there too. But yeah, all in all, I'm actually really pleased with what I've been able to pull together so far. But I am running a little low on pieces, so I might have to take apart some more sets. So far, this has mostly been one TIE Fighter wing, the McLaren Sabre Speed Champion, and then the Lego Cat has seen better days. His head is pretty much completely gone at this point. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'll keep you posted as I go. Okay, so may have gotten a little bit carried away since the last update and didn't really film that much. But here is the finished Blackbird. Still need to build out the base, but all in all, I'm stoked with how this came together. The wheels are pretty accurate. I did 1 in the front and then 2 on each side of the rear because I didn't have the right wheels to do 2 in the front and 3 on each side of the rear. So that's a little bit off from the real thing. And then I am gonna open up the MIDI scale Falcon, which has these pieces in black. So I'm gonna swap them out for black, so then it really will be all black. Added some lights to the back here too, just to kind of give it the sense of the red covers that they put on when the planes are stored. Only thing is that the wheels are not rigid. You can see the back wheels, they're just kind of hang. So I mounted them to the body like that, and obviously it works when it's sitting still, but not when it's being held. But if you just put it down on the rear wheels, then it stays pretty reliably, although that time it didn't. But yeah, if you land it like a real one would, then it sticks. So I think this is awesome. It's just about 9.5 or 9 3/4 inches, so it'll fit right in the slot of the builds, and hopefully nobody else has done anything like this. And if you see this and you're going to be at Art of the Brick in Washington, D.C., yeah, this is my entry. So I hope you enjoyed watching the build. I'm just going to finish it out. Unfortunately, I have to get this video up tomorrow, and I won't have a chance to finish out the base of it because I don't have the base plate from Lego yet that I ordered. So this is going to have to do for now, but I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.